Hi everybody, my name is Pierce. I am from Scout Troop 680 and I'm here to teach second class requirement 2D. Let's read this over for a moment. Explain when it is appropriate to use a lightweight stove and when it is appropriate to use a propane stove. Set up a lightweight stove or propane stove. Light the stove unless prohibited by local fire restrictions. Describe the safety procedures for using these types of stoves. Alright, I have brought 3 stoves for demonstration here. Each of them has their own defined purpose. Let's start off with the Coleman Propane stove. This is a heavyweight stove that is very efficient with cooking large amounts of food in a short amount of time. To set this up, unclamp the front clamp, open it up, take the windshield wings, hold down the metal clamps, and place them into their respective holes. Something to remember with this stove is that the windshield is here for a reason. Remember to point the windshield upwind, wherever that may be, so that a stray gust won't knock down your food or spread fire everywhere. Next, take a fuel can and screw it into the respective accessory, and screw the accessory into the side. Now, to light it, take one of the valves and turn it to the left. Then light her up. To extinguish the fire, turn the valve to the right. Next, let's move on to the white gas stove. Now, the white gas stove is a good happy medium between the heavyweight propane and the lightweight pocket rocket. To start off, you want to make sure that this red cleaning valve is turned away from the flame. The flame will not light if it is towards it. Next, unscrew the fuel cap and use a funnel to put some of the white gas into the stove. Then put your finger on this hole and pump it 20 to 30 times. Should be good enough. Then, like with most stoves, take the valve, turn it left, then light her up. Turn it right when you want it to extinguish. Let's move on to the pocket rocket. Pocket rocket is the simplest to refuel. All you have to do is unscrew it from its respective fuel can. Change it out and screw it into the next one. With the pocket rocket, turn the lever to the left to start the gas and light her up. And turn it right to extinguish. Now you may be asking, why wouldn't I just bring the heavyweight Coleman stove to a campout and cook for everybody as fast as possible? The main problem is weight. This Coleman stove weighs about 15 or so pounds. The griddle that you could use for cooking bacon weighs another 20. It is simply not practical to bring this setup to, say, a hike or a backpacking trip, because nobody is going to be able to carry this and all their stuff on the same time. You would want to gravitate more towards these two lightweight stoves. This is the white gas stove is a good happy medium between the heavyweights and the lightweight stoves. This is great for, say, a patrol cooking together. It cooks at a fairly hot temperature and it boils water very fast. As for personal use, you'd want to use the pocket rocket. Weighs like not even 3 ounces, and it works like a charm for boiling water. But you don't want to assign too many people to a single pocket rocket, because the water will only boil so fast, and you can only boil so much at a time. It's kind of a matter of speed. Also, be careful with which pots you use on which stoves. Putting a pot at this size may be perfectly acceptable for, say, the Coleman stove, but it wouldn't be so great if you put it on the pocket rocket, because there's simply not enough surface area on the pocket rocket to sustain this stove staying on. Instead, you want to use this pot. It's smaller and it takes up just enough space so that it won't fall over. Now, some miscellaneous safety tips. As always, the wind is typically a factor that you need to take into account. The Coleman stove obviously handles it best because you have a windshield. For these two, try to find a place where you have, say, a rock blocking the wind. And you also want to make sure that there's no flammable objects around. So make sure you stow all of your fuel far away from the stoves. And also take into account if there's any brush or overhead trees, because that can always be a problem. Also, especially for the pocket rocket, make sure you are cooking on a flat surface. If you cook on an angle, there's a very, very high chance that you will lose all your food to a collapse, because again, especially with the pocket rocket, it simply cannot sustain any more than about a 5-degree slant. Thank you all for listening. Have a nice one.